Well, it's your boy Chonas out here drinking the beer. Oh. So, as the title of this video is going to say, I got me a Nintendo Switch. After, let's see, my birthday was back in May. I told my family there was like two things I wanted. It was a Nintendo Switch and what was the other thing? Something with camping. I can't remember what year it was, but it was those two things. I was able to get the other gift, but the Nintendo Switch I wasn't able to get because about that time they was sold out. Because the pandemic got declared back in April and everything just dried up. So I've been searching since about May to find a Nintendo Switch, and it's one of those where like, alright, all your retail stores basically out of it. And then some people bought it, and then they put it on eBay or whatever, and they're double the price. Where it's like, I ain't gonna pay that much for a Switch. I can wait. I'll play later. So the other day, my sister, she found one at the Target. She found one at Target, and basically I was at work, so she texted me saying, "Are you able to get off? Are you going to get off early enough to work?" I was like, man, I'll tell you what. Go get it for me. I'll pay you back because I'm not going to be able to make it in time. Because by the time I get there, who knows? It's going to be sold out. And it happened. She told me there's one at the Odessa store and one in the Midland store. One in Odessa tried that first and sold out. Midland had it, so boom, she got it for me. So I've been playing that. And like I said, this is the first Nintendo. Well, I would say this is the latest Nintendo I've had. The last Nintendo I had. Okay, well, out of Nintendo, I've had a Nintendo console or played on Nintendos ever since I've been alive. Because Nintendos, they the old school console. I mean, they were there at the first console wars when it was Nintendo and Sega. I remember growing up, and people were always talking smack about, nah, the Nintendo console is better than this Sega console, and I remember those days. And like I said, my first Nintendo console I ever had was the Super Nintendo, and I had that for probably, what was it? Probably like 12 to 15 years. Because I had the Super Nintendo all the way through the 90s, because I was born in 91. So basically, all through the 90s and the early 2000s, I had a Super Nintendo. It was the only gaming console I ever had. Eventually, I got some other consoles. But I said because that was the only one I had for a long time, was the Super Nintendo. And the Atari 7600 console. It was an Atari. That's how well, my parents were the first generation gamers because they were in their 20s in the 80s. So when that whole video game thing came out, my mama was the one who was like, yep, this is what we do. So yeah, I grew up with an Atari and a Super Nintendo. So, but the second Nintendo console I had, because like I said, I only had the Super Nintendo. But the next Nintendo console I had was the Nintendo GameCube. I never had the N64, which I played it at other people's houses, like friends and stuff, and it seemed like that was a pretty cool console to have. But unfortunately, growing up poor, we couldn't afford the N64. Heck, I remember one time I had to save up money just so I could get the latest console at the time was the PS2. That was the first console I got for my own. And that was a lot. But then again, I think my mom wanted the Nintendo, so she got the GameCube, and then my sister got her own GameCube. So that was the second Nintendo console I got, was the Nintendo GameCube. So this Nintendo Switch is technically my third Nintendo console I've owned in my life. Yeah, I kind of skip every other generation of Nintendos, it seems. Like I said, like Xbox, that's the one console I have consistently have. I got the original Xbox, I got the Xbox 360, and I got the Xbox One. Like Xbox is the one console I've gotten every single generation of. Like through my whole life, these are the gaming consoles I've had. If you've seen on my Instagram, I've posted photos when I was cleaning the room. Like I said, the first two consoles I had was that Atari 7600, which I don't think we have that anymore. I think it finally broke down, or it's just somebody else's house for collecting dust. But then we had a Super Nintendo, which is the first one I remember playing was a Super Nintendo and the Atari. But it was a Super Nintendo, and then after the Super Nintendo, I got a Sega Dreamcast. And unfortunately, anyone who ever had a Sega Dreamcast, well, you know what happened to it. And I got the Sega Dreamcast right as they canceled making everything for it. And my mama felt so bad about that. Because she bought it for, I think I was, 9 or 10 years old when she got it for me. She got that console, and it was right at my birthday. And it was like probably 5 months later. It's when, we're no longer making games for it or anything for this console. Like, it's dead. It's done. Sega's like, we're done with the consoles. Nintendo won. Software only. So my mom felt so bad, and I think she went out alone. That felt so bad that we ended up getting a PlayStation 2, which I played the original PlayStation because one of my friends had, and that was like the first console I ever played on that had a CD. Because before then, everything was cartridge, and the PlayStation was the only one that had CDs. So I was intrigued by PlayStation. So when I got a PlayStation 2, I was like, oh, this is the latest in gaming technology. And like I said, I love the PlayStation 2. And I had that while I had that. And then, that's when Microsoft came out with their console, and I got the Xbox. Because that's when, I had to play Halo. And it makes me old because Halo came out in 2001. Oh, man, I'm old. That's like 20 years ago. Oh, dang. This is getting close to 20 years since I played that game. But anyhow, I got the Xbox, and then I got Halo and all those games. So I was going between the PS2 and the Xbox and the Dreamcast every now and then. And eventually, Dreamcast, I ended up having issues with the controller, so I couldn't play the Dreamcast no more. So it was just PS2 and then the Xbox. That's what I had all through elementary, junior high, all the way up until sophomore or junior year in high school. I think it was sophomore year in high school. I want to say, so I think sophomore year in high school. That's when the 360 came out. Everyone had it, and I had to go, and I couldn't afford it, so I ended up. My brother-in-law had one, so I ended up going over there and playing all the new 360 games off of his. Till eventually, I think it was after I graduated and when I actually started working myself, and I guess my freshman year in college, that's when I got me an Xbox 360. Bought that with myself. Because I got that, because like I said, all my friends had that one. And no one I knew really played the PS3. The only one who had that was my brother-in-law, and he used the PS3 mainly for DVDs. I mean, like I said, I played the PS2. That's the only Sony console I've ever owned. I never had a PS4 or a PS3. And then, like I said, when the next gen came out with that, and then, like I said, my sister, she had the Wii U, so I just played. Oh, it's not the Wii U, it's the Wii. Well, she also has a Wii U, I think. I don't know. I never played the Wii U. I know I played Nintendo's Wii. She got that, and I just play out on hers. I never owned it. But the Nintendo Wii, I don't know. Most of the, I don't know. I think it was mainly because of the way the controller was set up. I just didn't really like the Wii. I mean, I know what Nintendo was going for, and it was pretty good. And it's a good idea. And like I said, it did have some games on it, but like I said, I like playing the Mario parties and on it. So I think that's what I mainly played on it. But I don't know. Mainly since, like I said, it wasn't my console, I wasn't able to check out a whole lot of games. And like I said, it was mainly just the controller that, I don't know. I mean, every console had a basic controller that was kind of like, always kind of like same. Like I said, when you had Xbox, every generation controller was basically the same on your Xbox. The same thing with the PlayStation. Controller was basically the same. May have a few extra buttons or less buttons. But I've noticed that Nintendo, every time they come out with a console, controllers are completely different. Because I mean, the NES and the Super Nintendo, the controllers basically were the same. One was just kind of square, and the next one was round. I mean, they were still the same. Then you go to the N64, which was like, okay, this is weird. This is really weird controller. And then you go to the GameCube, and the GameCube was, I guess, their controller was kind of based off, I would say, PlayStation's controller. The way their design and setup was. It was a mixture of PlayStation and Xbox controllers. So it was the easiest one to learn from. And then you go to the Wii, and it's like, what the heck? It don't make no sense. And then, like I said, now you got the Nintendo Switch. I got it, and it's kind of, they kind of gone back and checked it. Like I said, you got it where you can put both handles on a controller, and just if you're playing by yourself, but like with multiple, like I can see where they can kind of combine like the Wii and other style controllers. So it's pretty, legit. So, like I said, I've been playing that this weekend, and then also, side note, notice my haircut. Because out here in West Texas, it gets to like 110, 15 degrees, 110 or 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, it get hot out here. Like, yesterday was 105, so I can't have no long hair. So I told my brother-in-law, just give me a good old buzz cut. And that way I can stay cool at work out in the sun. That was a side note of that. But yeah, like I said, I got me my Switch. It's my third Nintendo console, and I love it. I loved it. I've been playing my sisters and my brother-in-laws, and like I said, this is probably the best. I like this Nintendo console because, like I said, I've been going through some of the games. I'm like, you know what? It's time to get back into Nintendo. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. Like, man, you know what you're gonna get from Nintendo because Nintendo's been around since I've been alive. So it's one of those like, I know what I'm getting. I know what to expect from Nintendo. I mean, Microsoft and Sony are fighting it out for their whatever they doing. But at least Nintendo's like, man, you know what you're going to get. So, that's my little video about the Nintendo Switch and other gaming consoles I had. So, yeah. This is your boy Jonas. Out here, still drinking beer, playing video games. Telling y'all, if it's as hot as it is where y'all at or not, whatever, stay cool, have fun, and stay safe out there because this is still a pandemic going on and a bunch of craziness has been going around, so just stay safe. So I'll see y'all later.